Today we're going to be covering all the MMA and UFC news that you have missed this week. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels, and welcome back to everything that you missed in MMA this week. This is, like I said, where we cover all of the news that you may have missed this week, whether it's a fight between two fighters that you have never heard about before, or it's something as big as Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury this week, something that's been all over the place. We are going to be covering all of that in today's video, guys. Timestamps are there if you would like to use them. Let's jump into the first topic. Starting off, we continue the saga of Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg. So Mark Zuckerberg has now been training with Israel Adesanya and Alexander Volkanovski. I already believe that Mark Zuckerberg is going to win this fight. I believe everybody believes that Mark Zuckerberg is going to win this fight. But if he's training with Adesanya and the greatest fighter of all time in Alexander Volkanovski, you're bound to pick some stuff up. You're bound to be better, unless, like the memes have been saying, Elon Musk puts a brain chip in his head and he just becomes superhuman. Next up, of course, this is the big news that you guys all knew about. Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury has officially been announced. We still, as far as I know, we still don't know whether or not this is going to be an expedition match. It doesn't seem like it's going to be. However, the boxing title is not on the line. I made a whole video talking about this. I am still in complete disbelief that Francis Ngannou actually got this done. I was like laughing at him. I was like, oh my god, Francis Ngannou is leaving the UFC because he thinks he can box Tyson Fury. I was like, what's going on? But he did it, man. He did it. I am in complete shock. If you're interested in me expanding upon the topic, we have a whole video on the channel. Moving on, we have some sad but expected news. Kevin Lee, after his recent loss, has retired from the UFC officially. He's going to move on to bigger and better things. He has a different path, and to use his words, God has a different path for him. He's going to find it, so I wish him nothing but the best. We also made a whole video on Kevin Lee's retirement. I'm really going to miss him. He was always exciting no matter where he went in the UFC, so Kevin Lee, I'm going to miss you. Now, here's an interesting one. The PFL partners with USADA. USADA is now going to be part of the PFL, testing all of its fighters. I wonder how that's going to go. Not a clue, but hey, you know what? It's a good thing they're cleaning up the sport. You know what I mean? And speaking of USADA, Walt Harris's fight is canceled this weekend because Walt Harris has failed his USADA test. He said it's because of a supplement that he's been taking his whole career, but he hasn't even bothered to get it tested. A lot of people are calling BS on this. I always never know what to think about this because I can see a world where people are taking different supplements and it's like, oh, USADA flagged it. There's something in that supplement. Perhaps it was tainted, but also this is such an easy thing to say for cheaters. You know what I mean? A lot of people are making memes right now. Walt Harris starts training with John Jones. All of a sudden fails a USADA test. That's always possible, but I don't know what to think about these things. Regardless, Walt Harris's fight's off. He's been caught by USADA. The suspension as of right now is unknown. Moving on to the next topic, Ronda Rousey may or may not be returning to the UFC. Ronda Rousey, I was talking about my friends. She is 36 years old now. There is no way she should be coming back, especially with the confidence level that she has. That's crazy to me. However, Ariel Helwani has said that this is not true because, again, this is something that I was going to touch on. It's just a rumor right now. I don't know where it started. I don't know who started it, but apparently Ronda Rousey was thinking about coming back to the sport and Ariel Helwani shutting it down. I don't know what's true. Regardless, it's part of the news. Moving on, another fighter like Kevin Lee who is gone from the UFC is Zhalgas Zhumagulov. This isn't too surprising. His contract ran out and he is no longer part of the UFC roster, so it's unclear whether he was cut from the UFC or if he willingly left himself. He wants to fight in a different organization. Regardless, to be honest with you, I kind of saw this coming. He wasn't getting any success in the UFC. He was very frustrated with his performances. He was frustrated with the judges, the UFC. So maybe he'll retire. Maybe he'll move on to better things. I don't know. Maybe he'll be in a different organization. Regardless, very fun fighter to watch. No matter where he ends up, I will be watching him. Now, guys, I will read you the few fight announcements we got this week. We have Edgar Chairez versus Daniel De La Silva Lacerda on September 16th. Jake Hadley versus Cody Durden on August 5th. Charles Jourdain has a fight booked for September, and he said that it is a great opponent. I absolutely love watching Charles Jourdain fight, guys. If you know me, if you watch the channel at all, I'm a big Charles Jourdain fan. Really like that guy. Anyways, continuing on, we have Joanne Wood, who has pulled out of the fight. Now, Priscilla Cachoeira versus Miranda Maverick is happening on July 29th. That's the replacement bout. And finally, we have the return of Jack Jenkins versus Jose Mariscal on September 19th. Very solid fights. To be honest with you, these are like every single one of these fights that got booked, except for, in my opinion, Miranda Maverick's fight. I'm like, oh, that's a pretty cool fight. I would really like to watch that, especially I enjoy watching Jack Jenkins fight, but man, Charles Jourdain always puts on exciting bouts. I cannot wait to see who they pair him up against. Before I let you guys go, here are the fights to watch this weekend, guys. One championship, one fight night, 12 is on tonight, and one championship is my favorite organization. This card is stacked. I cannot wait to see it. You guys need to watch it. And of course, we have a UFC Fight Night that a lot of people don't like, but if you're a super fan like me, I'm down to see all the fights. I'm really, really excited for fights in the early prelims, all the way up to the main event with Holly Holm in the lackluster main event. I wish Jack Della Maddalena was a main event, but of course, we can't do that. That's a brand new fight. It was promoted to the co-main event at least. Regardless, it's a very good weekend for fights. We have a very good few weeks of fights ahead of us. So, if you don't like this card, take this one, watch it. We got a great few weeks ahead of us, guys. And with that being said, we'll put an end to this video today. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you are new here, we have this video out every single Friday, so subscribe to stay tuned. If you'd like to continue watching the Clenbat channel, there will be 2 videos on the screen for you right now. One handpicked by me, the other one YouTube thinks you'll like the best. Regardless, I will see you either there or in the next video, guys. Take care.